Hi students, for today's class we're going to be learning how to multiply decimals by decimals. Now you must be saying to yourself, Miss Hamilton has gone mad. Miss Hamilton did not align her numbers according to their correct placed value. Whenever we're multiplying decimals, don't worry about placed value yet. Alright? Let us not worry about place value yet. Let us just write our multipliers and our multiplicants as how we would have written them regularly if we were multiplying whole numbers. All right. So here, the decimal points are not aligned underneath each other, and the numbers in the tenths with a th at the end, the numbers in the 10th place are not aligned, and so on and so forth. But we're not going to make that a problem when we're multiplying. Just remember to align them when we're adding and subtracting, but when we're multiplying, it's not a problem. We're not considering decimal place value as yet. All right? So when we're multiplying decimals, we multiply them as we do regular whole numbers, as I did in the previous video. So we're going to start with the numerals at our farthest right, and we're going to use it to multiply all the digits in the multiplicand. All right. So we're going to take our 2 and we're going to use it to multiply all the digits at the top. So let's go. 8 2s, 16, 6, carry 1. 2 9s, 18, plus 1, 19. Write down our 9. Carry our 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 gives us 1. Very good. Now our next digit that we're going to use to multiply is 0. So 0 times anything just gives us 0, right guys? So we could just go throughout this step, and in our second row, and we could put our place holding 0 here. And then we could say 0 times 8 gives us 0, and 0 times 9 gives us 0, and 0 times 0 gives us 0, and then go ahead and add. But that would not make much sense because we know that 0 times anything gives us 0. So we can just leave our answers as is. We can just leave our answer in the first row. But it's not finished. The answer is not finished. Let us identify the number of digits behind the decimal point, or to the right of the decimal point. In the first number, we have 1, 2 digits behind the decimal point, or to the right. And in the second numbers, we have 1. In the second number, we have 1. So that means in total, how many digits do we have behind the decimal point in total? That's 1, 2, 3. That means in our answer, we should have 3 digits to the right of our decimal point. When we're multiplying, we count the number of digits behind the decimal point in total when we are multiplying. All right. Of course, in addition, we just keep the total number of decimal places in the highest number of decimal places that we see there. All right. But when we're multiplying, we count up each digits that are behind the decimal point. And here we get a total of 3. That means we should have 3 digits to the right of our decimal point in our answer. That's 1, 2, 3. So we'll put our decimal point here. Since we have no whole number section, we can put a 0 at the front as a placeholder. And that's our answer. Let us try a second example. In our second example, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use our outermost numeral or the numeral or digits that's to the right first. We're going to use it to multiply all the digits in the multiplicand. And then we're going to use the second digit, multiply all the numbers again in the second row. All right, then we're going to add, and then we're going to find our decimal places. We're going to put in our decimal points. So let's go. Starting with the 3. 3 times 1 gives us, 3 times 7 gives us 21. Write down our 1, carry our 2. 3 3s 9, and 2, 11. Write our 1, carry over 1. 3 1s 3, and 1, 4. Awesome. Now, let's go in our second row. We're going to use our second number here, our second digits, to multiply the same at the top. Before we do that, we have to put our place holding 0. And I recommend that you cross off the numbers that you carried over first so that you don't confuse them with the second row. All right, so 4 times 7, all right, 28, very good. We write down our 8 and we carry over our 2 to the next place that we're going to multiply, right? Then we say 4 times 3. 4 times 3 gives us what? 12, very good, plus 2, 14. Write our 4 and we carry over our 1. 4 times 1 gives us 4, plus 1 gives us 5. Awesome. And the next step is to add. 1 plus 0 gives us 1. 8 plus 1 gives us 9. 4 plus 4 gives us 8. Oh, that 9 is a bit crooked. And 5, we bring down our 5. Now the question is, how many digits should we have to the right of our decimal point? In the first number, we had 2 digits. That's 1, 2. And in the second number, we have 1. So in total, we have 3 digits after the decimal point. And let me repeat, we only do this for multiplication. For addition and subtraction, we keep the number of decimal places. We keep the highest number of decimal places that we see in any number. So if you're adding a number and one has 2 decimal places and one has 3, the highest number of decimal places will be 3. That's when you're adding. But when you're multiplying, the highest number of decimal places, to get that, you add up all the numbers that are behind a decimal point. And in this example, there are 3 numbers or 3 digits. So we ensure that the answer has 3 digits. And we're done. That's how we multiply decimals by decimals.